Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode. Today we're taking a sponsored look at Champions Ascension. Exciting because we get to look at their white paper, which is releasing, and they also have a new battle trailer available. These will give us a sneak peek of what the gameplay will actually look like, how it will play. From my first impressions, it looks to be like a very skill-based game, which I think we need in the play to earn space, with really good high-quality graphics. We have the white paper, which gives us all the details about the gameplay, also the NFTs and the tokens available in the Champions Ascension universe. As today's video is sponsored, we will be doing a self-sponsored giveaway of 60 USDT going out to 5 different people. All you got to do to be entered is go down into the description, use the referral link for Champions Ascension, then go down into the comment section and let me know that you've done that. All you got to do then is go to the description and post in our Discord server in the competition wallet section your YouTube name and wallet address, and you will be entered. Also, if we hit over 1,000 referrals this month, we will double the watch to earn rewards from this video. So you'll get an extra $300 that we can give away to 5 other people. So make sure to join that referral link down below and let me know when you've done so. If you like free giveaways, you could also join their Discord server. They have over 100,000 members already, and they have done regular ETH giveaways, and they're not going to stop. There'll be plenty more, so you can have a chance to win some there. You'll also get access to exclusive updates in the server. All you got to do to get that is, if you'll find the link in the description for their Discord, as well as in the pinned comment that I'll put down below. So what is Champions Ascension? For those who don't know, it is a blockchain game being built by Jam City, an award-winning mobile game developer that has already developed some amazing games, working with some huge IPs from Disney to Harry Potter. They are led by former MySpace co-founder Chris the Wolf, and they know how to deliver on mobile games. I have worked with them personally for a long time, and I've really liked what they've produced. So I think they're going to produce a high quality game, and nothing better shows that than the brand new battle trailer that we have, which gives us some sneak peek into exactly what this game is going to look like. Okay, here we have it, Champions Ascension. This is a sneak peek of what the gameplay will look like. And as you can see, this is a skill to play, skill to win game that is not just going to involve, simple auto battlers, click and plays. I'm done with them. I'm a little bit bored of them, and I want something a little bit more strategy based. And as we can see here, it features the different abilities that you can use to react to your opponent to try and minimize the damage that they deliver, and use these abilities to maximize the damage that you put out. Ultimately, you have the health screen on the top left and right there, and some might have higher HP, you can see, because they'll each have different strengths and weaknesses. I imagine the tanky guy will have more HP, but might be slower or might have less defense or attack. We have the smaller types having less HP. This one has 200, and they probably deliver a lot bigger attack, and maybe better in terms of agility, speed, things like that. But what we see here is NFT assets that you own. I currently am an owner of 3. I've got the Founders Perks package with that, which guarantees me a plot of land, pets, and you will be able to breed these Prime Eternal NFTs to create other ones. So if you missed out on this, they had their Prime Eternal drop. This was where they put their first lot of NFTs up. Now we've got 7.6k currently already minted. Floor price of 0.364. So if I wanted, I could sell all 3 of mine right now for 1 ETH, which is pretty nice. But I'm going to be holding mine because I believe in this game. I believe in what it's going to do. So you can see I own 3 here, 2 of which have got a divine part. We already had a good insight into what these were going to give in terms of rewards. There is a lot of utility to owning these NFTs. So they have completed Lore Season 1. They appeared at GDC 2022 in NFT LA. Coming soon, we have Lore Season 2. White paper now being released, white website update, and then in development is 1v1 battle gameplay, which we just saw there, the game client, staking, auto battler, tokenomics, gear forging, land ownership, and Prime Eternal ownership perks. As you can see, the founders perks we got for minting was 1 per NFT, a guaranteed land plot for because I held 3, 1 limited print NFT per champion, and 1 special edition weapon per champion. So here we have it, the Champions Ascension white paper. We get a little sneak peek before this goes live. Maybe when the video has been released, it'll be available to you guys as well. But let's go through it now. So we have Welcome to the Champions Metaverse. Champions is an iteratively built game by Jam City and invested heavily in by a network of game studios. Jam City games have generated over 1.5 billion in lifetime installs and 2.5 billion in lifetime booking. So that just speaks to the mobile game industry without NFT capabilities, without being linked to the blockchain. And that's a lot of money to bring into the NFT gaming space potentially. They continue to grow through ongoing live ops. They're currently successfully operating more than 20 games, including more than a dozen games built in partnership with a world-class brand. So I think they recently acquired Ludia, which is has the IP Jurassic World alive, and that's so they are acquiring some big titles. Their studio creative leadership is hundreds of thousands of hours of collective game development, social media and entrepreneurship. Creators of MySpace experience to make Champions something truly innovative. They're building together with us to create a true play and earn experience and novel ways to enjoy your Champions NFTs and coins. They strongly believe in creating and growing a community that fosters true collaboration between devs and players. You can join now and provide your unique feedback and guidance into the early ideation phase of Champions Ascension. This is something we don't always see in the non-NFT gaming universe, where we get to actually be part of the community that guides the development of a project. And I think that's one of the really biggest features within NFT gaming, is the community is generally stronger because you're invested in the NFTs, you're invested in the tokens, so you have some stake in the game. Their mission is to create a living, breathing world, a theme park metaverse where everyone can play, earn, socialize, and create new content for years to come. It will be player first, immersive metaverse with mind-blowing visuals, true play and earn with mutual educational practice, and worldwide growth and acceptance. Next up, we get the game overview. So your champions hail from different worlds and backgrounds, but they've all come together to Messina to chase a dangerous, glorious dream, to conquer the Colosseum Eternal. For some, it is a personal mission. For others, a quest of honor. Failure comes at a high cost, but victory brings a glory only few will experience in this lifetime. Gameplay will include being able to collect, train, equip, and manage your own stable of brave, brutal gladiators to define your own story and influence the world of Messina. Who will you become? A battle master, an ingenious alchemist, a rich imperial business magnate? Enter a player-driven fantasy world of arena-based combat where death is real, but so are the rewards. So in Messina, they will worship the god of combat. Blood on the sand is the sacrifices legends are made in the Colosseum Eternal. They'll bring honor and power to your house by competing with other players for fortune and glory, making new allies, venturing out together in Messina and experiencing an immersive world with taverns, games, adventures, and political intrigue. So this is not going to be a single standing, you're just going to be in this Colosseum battling. There's going to be a whole world outside of this that they want to build. Together, they'll build the Kingdom of Messina, full of risk, wealth, and possibility. So right now we've got the collect part of this, being able to collect unique champions. Later we will be able to hone their fighting prowess in the arena as we earn glory on the sand and blood. Breed your champions to create new gladiators and aim to ascend them to higher tiers for access to more features and even greater power. This is going to be something that is going to be very interesting. The breeding of champions will be something that will produce more, obviously, for more people to be able to play. Capturing 7.6 thousand is a small amount of user base than they are used to. Their user base is huge in some of the games that they've created, so we will need to create new NFTs, but that's going to be demand and we can supply it if you own some. In battle, you'll experience visceral combat on diverse battlelands and dungeons in various game modes. Use your champions to explore and defeat bosses and other champions for fame, glory, and wealth. They plan on introducing and supporting different battle modes in the game. Some will be AI controlled auto battle, while others will require players to command their own champions on the battleground, move, attack, and use abilities. They plan on introducing different battle modes in the game, so some will be AI controlled auto battle, while others will require players to command their own champions on the battlefield to move, attack, and use ability, and that's where I think the true skill to earn element will be. Champions won't always fight with their default weapons. There are different types of resources that you'll be able to use that you can win through PvP and PvE battles, as well as other sources like mining and quest rewards. Some of those are raw materials for gear forging. Other than the materials, gear forging will require blueprints, which are also limited in the world. Champions of certain tiers can be assigned tasks to forge gear for their owners. Forged gear are limited print NFTs that players can create, which can be equipped by the player's own champions or be sold on the marketplace to others. These will be NFT assets that you can put on the marketplace and make money from. To craft gear, players will need to gain access to the gear forge, blueprints, and spend Essence token to be able to craft gear from those blueprints. Player owns the gear and can either use it to battle to improve chances of winning or sell it on the marketplace for others to use. Here we see a sneak peek of the world of Messina. We have the Hall Mountain, Training Quarter, the Maestro Quarter, Temple of Ascension, Library of the Arcane, Colosseum Eternal in the middle, the Market Bazaar, House of Death, Harbour of the Fallen, the Chopping Block, and House of Water, House of Life, the Seeping Carcadon, Mystery of Bone, the Quarter of Talents, House of the World, Tempo Island, Ruins of Dot. We have the House of Sky, Imperial Palace, the Senate, the Memory, Imperial Gardens, and the Cauldron of Fire. So this is, as we said before, a metaverse. This is going to be a huge world outside of the Colosseum, and you'll be able to own land in this. Obviously, as one of my perks as being a founder is that I will get a guaranteed land plot. So only those with great vision see the true value of land. Players that will be able to build dwellings, shops, forges, and mines, and many other types of facilities on the land plots that they own, and they'll be able to serve the larger community's needs. To construct these buildings, you will need building blueprints, which will be NFTs themselves. These can be purchased by players using the Messina token or through public sales that are going to be in the future. The construction of buildings take time and cost resources, but once built, the building owner can open it to the public or keep it private for yourself. Next up, the white paper gives us a detailed look and information on the champions themselves. So these are the bread and butter of the world, Messina. Each champion is unique and offers different advantages and options in gameplay, as we saw in the trailer. You can use them to explore, go on quests, craft gear, and fight vicious battles in the arena against other competitors. Collect and trade champions, or use their genes and breed new champions of your own. Champion structure will work as follows. So each champion belongs to one of 12 families grouped in 6 classes. There are 2 families per class. There are also 7 essences that each champion gets their core power from. So first up, we have the essences: Life, Arcane, Death, Fire, Water, Earth, and Air. These will each have advantages and disadvantages against each other, which is one of the crucial parts of the combat rules. So we see that Arcane beats Life, Life beats Death, Death beats Arcane, stronger but weaker to the one before it. Then we see classes, so Demon, Beast, Celestials, Humanoid, Dragonoid, and Undead. Now the class system will work as follows. So if you are a Demon class, you will get fangs, tails, horns, wings, and war paint, but you won't see them getting claws. Beasts will get fangs, tails, horns, wings, claws, but won't get war paint. So each of them has one functional part that they will not be able to get. However, the genes for all 6 will be present, so it can be passed on when breeding new champions, which gives a real kind of push for you to be able to breed with some of the NFTs that you have to try and create a 6 one where all are present. The benefit of this is that each functional part has different stats, and all parts contribute to the overall stats and abilities of the champion differently. Because each part contributes to the champion's abilities in different ways, this provides interesting choices and battles where each champion will have different advantages and disadvantages against other competitors based on which family and class it belongs to, as well as the essences of their parts. A specific essence out of the 7 essences flows through each functional part, and when the essence of the part matches that of your champion core, that part's stats will get a boost. The number of parts that match the champion's core essence is reflected in its overall purity number, which we saw earlier. This number translates to an additional boost, both the stats during battles when breeding, where it affects inheritance of the genes in a way that increases the probability to carry over the gene that contributes to purity. To ensure they have visual appeal for the champions, cosmetic parts have their own rarity as well, like hair and piercings. Additionally, your champions are rendered as 3D models that interact with other players' champions, so owning rare cosmetics means you can show off your amazing style to others. We also see the evolution being challengers to gladiators to eternals, with the prime eternals being the ones that we are currently on the market at the moment. We also get to see the different families: Whisperer, Darulk, Fenrir, Carcadon, Keymaster, Gatekeeper, Grondel, Ilga, Ligra, Vitra and Ceres, and Sadari and Eos. So if you go to them, you can see clearly that my core essence is Death, I'm Prime. My family is Eos for this one. So we can see that they are in the same class as Sidari. These hold a lot of value on the marketplace. So we can see that the 4 and above for divine parts, there's only one that has 5 on the marketplace, you know, shown by this P and this cool border around it. They're holding on to that, which I think is a good idea. You can also look at purity. So if we take 4 to 5 of purity, is there any on sale? So you can pick one of these up for 0.49. I think this is where actually, you know, if you're going to pick one of these up off the marketplace, buying one with good purity is definitely a good move. So we can see that this one has no divine parts, but people might underestimate the divine parts, the purity, and how good that is in the game. So we saw there that champions have 4 tiers: Prime, Eternal, Eternal, Gladiator, and Challenger. So here's just a nice image demonstrating that. We can see that the Prime Eternals have significant differences visually than the Challengers, and getting more and more detailed as we move into the Prime Eternals. Ascension is the process by which a lower tier can be ascended to a higher tier, after meeting certain prerequisites, such as reaching a certain level at their current tier and completing an Ascension challenge. To ascend your champion, you'll need to expend tokens and in-game resources that you can earn through gameplay and fighting other champions. You can take your champions along the following Ascension path: Challenger, the Gladiator to Eternal. Ascending your champion to a higher tier improves their stats, allows them to have more progeny, gives them access to exclusive battle modes and areas in the world, and unlocks more abilities. Furthermore, each tier of champions will have a different daily limit of essence tokens. It will also have different lifetime earning caps for those tokens too. The earning limits increase as the champion's tier goes up, so ascending a champion provides more opportunities to earn essence tokens, ultimately reaching the final. Eternal tier grants immortality to your champion, and the Prime Eternals tier will only be available to the 7,622 Prime Eternals that were already released and will never be released again. However, along the path of Ascension, champions and utility tokens will be consumed, burned on the blockchain to help strengthen the player economy and balance the supply of champions and utility tokens. We'll take a look at the tokens in a minute. Next, we have death and resurrection being a part of the game. So should your champion fall in deathmatch battle, it will enter a soul state that lasts a limited amount of time. Eternals that entered a soul state will be resurrected and made whole in their house temple. Other champions can be revived by the necromancer for a fee. If you decide against reviving or the soul state ends, you can take the bloody remnants of the Ministry of the Bone, harvest them then for raw materials, so bone and essence tokens, which you can use to start again or forge new gear. This is good for the economy because it's going to mean that there's not going to be this endless production of champions. There's going to be some incentive for you to actually burn them and get some rewards back that you can put into the game to strengthen another champion. Now, the white paper gives us a detailed look at the percentages of the Prime Eternals. So we can actually see that out of these 7,622 that were minted, 1 was 5 divinity, which we looked at just there. 13 4, 3 divinity, there's 182. So we can see the percentages getting a lot higher for 0 divinity, taking almost half of the pot there. But yeah, that 5 out of 5 is huge rarity. You know, having the odds of 1 in 10,000 chance of getting that one. So it is really, really rare. The divine parts will not be passed on when breeding. So as the population grows, they will stay the same and rarity will increase. So this is going to be something that's really going to, straight from the off, make these Prime Eternals with divine parts have a lot of value in the game as it progresses. As each part is aligned with an essence, the overall purity resulted in the following distribution. So we can see that these are less rare than the divine parts. The majority of people minted 1 purity, just slightly less than that is 2 purity. So we can see 3 is 15.88 and 4 purity is 4.50. Only 37 were minted in total for having 5 purity. Now we'll see in the future that breeding champions with higher purity will increase the chances of purity in the progeny. Overall combination of purity and divinity in the Prime Eternals resulted in the total distribution. So we can see that there was only 1 with 5 divinity, but that one also had 3 traits. There was none in the whole pool that had 5-5. So even though it is good, it's not the best that it could have been. We see that 4-3 was very good. 3-5, so having 5 purity and 3 there was only 2 of those produced, so those will be highly sought after as well. 0.03% of the total distribution. So Prime Eternals had the parts aligned with life, death and arcane essences. We saw that there are more essences, so fire, wind, earth and water, and they are planning on releasing elementals who are Eternals aligned with these individual essences. Elemental Eternals will have new parts. Through breeding, players will be able to create champions that have a combination of any of the existing essences and the parts. The white paper also gives a bit of information on how breeding will work. So Prime Eternals, Eternals and Gladiators can be used to breed a new challenger. To breed, you'll need 2 champions of the same tier. Challengers cannot be bred, but they can ascend to a tier that can be bred in future. So in order to breed, you will need a specific combination of in-game tokens, depending on the current breed count of the breeder champion and the tier it is at the time of breeding. The number of tokens needed to breed will vary. So as you breed more, the tokens will likely increase. It's definitely a good way of handling preventing inflation and just, having one really good NFT that you can just spew out constantly really good NFTs. So we have the breeder tier being Prime Eternal to Eternal, then Gladiator, and Progeny tier will be Challenger. Each champion has a breed count of 3. So this will determine the total number of possible direct progeny. As a champion ascends to a new tier, the breed count will reset, so the newly ascended champion can breed again. A new progeny from the ascended champion can be created, even if the breed count in the previous tier had reached its limit. So additionally, Prime Eternals will have special events where breed count will be reset, so Prime Eternals can go through a new breeding cycle with new breeding limits. So although you will have that limit on these really good exclusive Prime Eternals, they will have opportunities to breed during these events as well. Each champion has a genome consisting of dominant and recessive genes for each part. The structure of the progeny, its essence and parts is derived from the genome of the breeder. Champions, where dominant and recessive genes determine the probability of the expression and inheritance of certain gene to keep the population diverse. Champions will not be able to be bred with their progeny, and their progeny with the same parents will not be able to breed among the others. Pretty common in the NFT gaming space that you can't, breed with the progeny. The divine parts that exist only in the Prime Eternals will only be passed on as non-divine counterparts. This ensures that divinity is only present among the Prime Eternals. Now, we get a sneak peek into the tokens that are going to be available in Champions Ascensions. The tokens at the moment have no defined supply cap. These are tokens that players can earn by completing certain objectives in the game. You can trade them between each other and use them in complete game activities. Trading these tokens will be done on their own proprietary exchange. You'll be able to trade these tokens for ETH, supporting the player-to-player economy once the exchange is available. In order to establish a stronger player-to-player economy, Jump City will never sell these tokens directly. Utility tokens will be minted when players claim their earnings, and they will be burned when players use them. A lot of projects are looking to do this with tokens, and I think it works better in the long run. I think this is one of the solutions to the problems in play and earn at the moment, is that we buy these tokens, inflate them so much, and then they come down. And they might come down to the same level that they were at in the beginning, and it looks like they've done really bad and people lose faith in the project or the token. But actually, if you start it from the base level, these tokens not being sold beforehand, then you start to see tokens can build and have momentum as the game, requires you to be able to spend these tokens to have some progression in the game like you would in just mobile games. And I think this will work a lot more effectively. So the first token is the Essence token, and we get to see what the utility of these tokens are. Essence can be won by winning battles and completing challenges. It can be used in many different ways, including breeding new champions and crafting new gear. So this is going to be really essential for being able to create new champions and improve your gear stats so that you will be able to compete, have more advantages in combat. The Messina token is gradually earned when staking a Prime Eternal. It's accumulated daily for as long as the player has their Prime Eternal staked. The world you're building will allow you to use Messina. claim specific land plots that are only available for Messina, and also construct different types of buildings where players can craft items or get access to some services for in-game use. For example, you'll be able to create a new sword in your forge and use it in battles against other champions. This is giving huge utility to the NFTs that are available on the market. When you make a token exclusive to only Prime Eternal holders, it just adds and sustains the value that is in the Prime Eternal NFTs, and also encourages people who, you know, want to get into the game at the biggest level where they have land plots. It gives them an incentive to pick some of these up off the marketplace, so it might increase the demand for these, and with demand increases the price. So for example, you'll be able to create a new sword in your forge and use it in battles against other champions. So you'll be able to craft, but not only will you be able to use it in battles, you can take it to the gear and land marketplace and sell those. So you're having a NFT that has utility producing tokens. The tokens allow you to buy land. Land allows you to produce the gear. The gear you can sell. So you can see that these NFTs will have huge utility down the line. The diamond token is like Messina. It's gradually earned when staking a Prime Eternal, and it can be accumulated daily for as long as the player has their Prime Eternal staked. It can be used to acquire diamond gear items such as the diamond gauntlet, which can be obtained with diamond. Only a Prime Eternal can create diamond through staking their Prime Eternal. Again, we have more utility being added to these Prime Eternals that you will need in the game, and other people require. So these assets that you create, again, you can sell them. So you can hold your Prime Eternal and still make some of the money that you made, you originally bought it for, through some of these bits of gear and land that you produce. Now, they are planning more tokens than the above listed in the white paper. This is a metaverse being built in many ways to interact with the Messina experience. As they release more modules that give you more experiences in the metaverse, they'll be adding additional tokens to interplay with their economies. At the same time, the Essence token will always be the core token used and burned across many different actions in the game, from fighting to breeding to building and more. I think some people might be a little bit wary of the fact that you're getting tokens that haven't, there's no private sale, there's no IDO, but the thing is, you've got the people who will buy this token and not investors. They will be purely gamers, people who play in the game, and you see this in a lot of token sales. You see a lot of tokens going live, the game drops, and you'll see sell-offs, and those sell-offs aren't by the people who are playing this game who are loyal to it. These are people who are trying to make money, make profits, and that's fine, but it hasn't been working in the play and earn game space. So I think what they are doing is definitely working towards a solution for having a sustainable economy. Whilst they don't have caps, and some people might be aware of hyperinflation, you don't have caps on tokens in a lot of games. So I'm playing Castle Crush at the moment. There's not a limit on the amount of gems that they can provide and you can acquire. But it still works. People still buy the gems still have utility. So I think this is going to be definitely a step towards the right direction. Now, the technology section answers probably a big query that a couple of people will have, is that it's on Ethereum, and Ethereum gas fees are ridiculous. How are they going to deal with that? Well, they will be using a gas-free chain that will allow bridging to and from Ethereum layer 1. This means you're not going to be making, huge transactions on every time you want to sell a piece of gear or buy something on the marketplace, which is, for me, a huge necessary solution that they have in the game. The game itself will be built using cloud scale technology, and that will allow for unlimited users with no degradation in performance. They have an experienced team, experienced developers, and I think they're going to work towards creating a really good, high quality game. Definitely worth checking out, and if you want to get access to all those perks that we've talked about in the game, then Prime Eternals are available on OpenSea. All of the links to today's video will be in the description below. Apart from that, that is all for this one, and don't forget to join the Discord using the link in the description and the pinned comment down below. There you can find ETH giveaways that they do on a regular basis, as well as keep up to date with the project. Let me know what your thoughts in the description below on this one. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video. It always helps the channel out. Hit subscribe when you keep up to date with videos, and don't forget to get involved in our self-sponsored giveaway. That's all for me. See you guys soon.